We need to go somewhere private. No one can see us.
This is Splitsville all over.
I know.
They just looked genuinely
They really did.
in love. And I was like, oh no, I don't want to break up this hand-holding moment.
Someone else having a big night was EastEnders Jessie Wallace, my style icon.
But you can count on the soap stars to always be the ones keeping the party going.
Like Michael McIntyre, why was he at that after
He was
party?
loving it.
I love the NTAs for what it is, but it's Prosecco and fish and chips.
Did she
I
do
know.
the whole "Don't you know who I am"?
Yeah.
It's giving the whole Taylor Swift, Kanye West moment.
If you like bland television, it's for you. I loved it.
Right,
Keep
Ellie.
Tom but bin boss.
This is Showbiz Fix, where the Sun Showbiz team gives you the inside track on our biggest celebrity scoops and lay out the lowdown on everything you're loving this week. Today, we're going to be taking you backstage at the National Television Awards with all the gossip on an EastEnders meltdown, Love Island's Yasmin and Jamie on the rocks, and Maura Higgins causing drama at another party. Guys, we are somewhat sponsored by McMuffins and Coffee.
I wish we were actually, but we are full of them for sure.
I'm just glad that you're both here because, Ellie, I last heard from you at 3 a.m. You were at home with your doggy.
I was having a lager with the dog. It always takes me a while to calm down after these things, and I start making lists in my head of like, who do I need to call? And then I try and do my day job.
It's hard to switch the adrenaline off, I always think, because people always say, and I'm sure to you guys too, these parties, it's so fun, you get to go to them. And I'm like, well, sort of, but...
It's not fun when you're queuing to get out of the O2 Arena car park and you can't get out. I was in my Uber in that queue for 15 minutes.
No.
Honestly, 90 quid later, finally
Think of
got
those
home.
poor celebrities trying to get home.
No, they're fast-tracked out the Adderley entrance.
Yeah.
I'm so hungover. They're fast-tracked out, so they all get taken to their cars. So
I
you see the
know.
queue of staff waiting to get theirs, and then you see sort of like the PRs just taking their cars, team straight out to the cars.
I think this is the thing that people are fascinated, like the inner workings of how this kind of thing works. But anyway, where should we begin? Love Island, shall we? My fave.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the National Television Awards is always the first big showbiz event for the new batch of Love Islanders. And I always find it really interesting because it's the first time we see them like properly in the wild. And immediately you can tell where the cracks are forming. And we spotted some cracks with Yasmin and Jamie. So let me tell you about this. Yasmin was spotted hand in hand with Freddie Fraser from The Traitors. So he was series 2.
Oh my gosh, is she still with the other man?
She's still with Jamie. They walked the red carpet together. They were gushing about how things have been really great outside the villa.
Well,
But here's the
I
real
actually
kicker.
interviewed her then. So she was gushing about him. I was on the red carpet. It was absolutely teeming down in rain. There were all the fans that were outside who have queued to get in there, they are mega fans to be doing that. And it's battering it down with rain. And all the celebrities are trying to like jump over puddles and stuff with their gowns on.
Yeah.
Yaz comes over, looks beautiful. She talks about how happy her and Jamie are. And then
Yeah.
just hours later...
Yeah, so hours later at the party, the after party, Yasmin's holding hands with Freddie and she says to him, we need to go somewhere private, no one can see us. And that's the thing. That's not just she's holding Freddie's hand to help her down the stairs or...
Oh, that's that they're going to have a conversation that doesn't want to, you don't want to overhear, right?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my goodness.
So then, fast forward another couple of hours, Jamie can't find Yasmin.
Oh my gosh.
So he is outside the O2 Arena, desperately trying to find her. He's on the phone. There's a couple of other of the islanders there, still stragglers, but he's trying to find her. I can hear him. He's saying, Yasmin has f***ed off. He's not happy about it.
Oh, this is Splitsville all over.
I know. So look, we've put the calls in. I guess they'll be having some tense calls about it today. So I don't know. There might be something more to this. As Yasmin, I'm sure, will come out on her socials and explain maybe what went on, but certainly it looks like she might be eyeing up a different reality hunk.
I want to know where they went in private and what they did or said.
I know.
Because they didn't do the red carpet together. They weren't doing interviews together. And Yaz, when we were chatting, it was all about her modelling career and how, she's just really looking forward to the future. She's got loads of exciting plans coming up. And I feel as if she was really focused on herself. And then I mentioned Jamie and she praised him absolutely and said that they're really happy.
Yeah.
But she's definitely a very independent woman. She was there on her own merit. All the other Love Islanders were walking the red carpet and doing their interviews as a pair.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
And then you had Jamie just looking like a little lost puppy when he was trying to find Yaz at the end. My heart broke for him.
God.
Should have gone and tapped him on the shoulder and been like, do you know this man called Freddie?
Yes.
I'd have gone in with my cauldron and been like, I know where she is. She's in somewhere private with him.
Oh, no.
When no one can hear them.
Well, we saw the other Islanders there too. Harry and Shakira looked so loved up.
Oh,
they were dancing on the dance floor like I can only liken it to a couple at a wedding. It was this dance together. They were having the best time. And I think no one really saw that one lasting because it all happened so quickly at the end, didn't it?
Well, yeah, it was the most up and down relationship ever. They weren't together for the majority of the series, got back right at the end.
Yeah.
And yet they were naturally the most loved up couple there. Because a lot of them you think, oh, they are just staying together for the cameras to get a bit of extra publicity.
Yeah.
But they just looked genuinely
They really did.
in love.
Who else from Love Island? Let's do a quick rattle through. Tony and Cash were there, weren't they?
Oh yeah, I spoke to them as well. I was a bit starstruck. Was that Tony? I love her. She's so cool, but she was just saying about how she's really struggling to make sure that she can actually stay in the country.
Yeah.
So she's got like a big drama about that and she's finding it really stressful. And I was asking her whether she was going to start doing like, revision for all of those quizzes that you're about your British knowledge.
Oh God,
like, to stay in there. Like, so we need to we probably should get her on here and be like just quizzing her, grilling her about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, they seem really loved up. I had to give them a microphone to hold, and they were holding hands, and I was like, oh no, I don't want to break up this hand holding moment. They were very cute. And there was Megan and Connor.
Yeah,
they look like
Irish
they're going.
Meghan.
Yes, Irish Megan and Connor. They look really loved up. They were. They're a gorgeous looking couple. They were at the after party until the very end. They're just having fun.
Yeah,
they're enjoying it.
I saw Helena as well. Obviously, she was the other woman in the Harry Shakira love triangle. She was having a great time chatting with all kinds of people. Had a long chat with Miles from Made in Chelsea.
Yeah, that's who I saw them. I thought that's a really odd pair. What's going on there?
But she is a bit of a Chelsea party girl, isn't she? I think we knew that from because she's friends with people like George Lineker on socials and stuff.
Spencer Morgan, hangs out in all of the Chelsea clubs. Yeah.
Well, I love it. Someone else having a big night was EastEnders Jessie Wallace.
Oh, bless.
Otherwise known as Cat Slater, my style icon.
You could be twins.
Yeah, you wear it well.
I did wear leopard last night. So Ellie, tell us all about this. This is the fab story. You and Amanda came across this. What happened?
Yeah, so Jessie's always the life and soul of the party. I think any party you go to with Jessie Wallace / Cat Slater is always going to be wild. Like she's always having so much fun. And she was out. She was in there was like a secret second room, which you guys were in. And I was like, this room's so intense because it was just full of so many drunk people. And I was like, this is awful. And left. And I think she was having a super time. And we saw her with Charles Venn, ex-EastEnders. Now is some sort of hospital drama. I can't remember if it's Casualty or Holby City. Shows my telly knowledge. And then some things appeared to have sort of sparked her off, and it was just suddenly Jessie sort of went from like happy to heavy in like 5 seconds. And then sort of you got lovely Scott Maslin, who's like the hero of the hour and was helping sort of sweep up errant cast members, and he sort of swept Jessie out sort of in floods of tears, and off she goes and gets put into her car. And you think, oh, poor Jessie, what sparked it? So we're getting to the bottom of that now to find out what went on. And to be honest, like when I was speaking to EastEnders PR last night, I was saying that room was incredibly hot. So she could have just been, emotional, warm. But who knows? But something sparked between her and Charles. Something was said and something ended up it being in tears. But then it was amusing because the soap stars always hit it the hardest. I didn't see many Emmerdale, but there were loads of EastEnders out last night, loads of Corrie. My favourite bit was obviously we know the PRs well, they're all amazing women, they're incredible people. But it's quite funny to watch them zooming around the party trying to desperately get them back. Because obviously they all stay in hotels and what they don't want is people seeing them at their worst. And then watching Scott, after sort of depositing Jessie and helping get her into a car, coming back out to go and scoop up the rest. And I think he didn't leave till after, I think it was just 1 o'clock. I saw him then being put into a car. And then the EastEnders PR, who is absolutely lovely, seeing me and being like, I'll ring you tomorrow. And I was like, I think you should.
Yes, so let's have a chat. I saw Jack P. Shepherd desperately trying to be dragged out of that party room. We know he loves it. Because he just couldn't get away from people wanting selfies.
Oh.
Yeah, he was the real selfie magnet of the night. And the poor Corrie PR was dragging him, Jack, come on. And he was like, no, one more picture, which I love from him.
That's the thing. The NTAs is all, it's a lot. it's not as good as it used to be. And I hate to be one of those people that pipes on about it, but it used to be like stars everywhere. Feels a bit trickle-wardsy to me now. But the soap stars you can always count on. Only the after party, not the ceremony. The ceremony is amazing. The after party is like down. It's just not as good as it was, but you can count on the soap stars to always be the ones keeping the party going. I did see Michael McIntyre very proudly holding court with Bradley Walsh, and they must have had about 15 glasses of champagne on their table with just the NTA plonked in the middle, and they were having a great time. Like Michael looked like they got the cream.
I love it when there's someone at that after party that you would just think would be one of the first to leave. Like Michael McIntyre, why was he at that after party?
He was loving it. He was the life and soul.
And James Martin. I kept seeing James Martin, but he was just standing in the same position with a very attractive girlfriend. And sort of people coming up to him, and at one point he did look a bit bewildered, as if to like, why am I still here? Like, I haven't won, and this party's not that good. Like, why am I here? But I kept seeing him. He was just everywhere.
It's like stepping into your television in that kind of event and to go and see them, but them all relax and being themselves and having a drink. They've just had a really, 2.5 hour show. They've been there enjoying it, having a few drinks, and then they go to the after party and they're just letting loose.
Yeah.
And there's just something so fun about being able to sort of, just like celeb spot all the time, and celeb spot them celeb spotting, because you do get them becoming really, they're getting selfies with each other because they're like, oh my God, I love you. And it's so much fun.
Absolutely. The other thing that I love is when there's the talk of the after parties. And my particular favourite was Philip Olivier from Brookside, Tinhead, was planning something in Clapham. And I was like, what's going on in Clapham? Obviously the other side of London to the O2, and I was like, do I want to know, is it Infernos? Can I do this to myself?
It would either be like a Clapham crack den, or it would be something actually quite good, and it would be an amazing party. But that's a risk to take. I think you were talking about taking that risk yesterday, and I was like, weigh it up, because it could be awful. My
taxi sailed past Clapham. I live near there. Sailed past Clapham, and I thought, I still don't really know anything about this elusive party, so maybe I'll just...
Well, it's always the Intercontinental Hilton where they have this sort of after party. And I had this morning, or someone texted me just being like, I was there till 2:30 when the bar closed. And Dan Baldwin, who's Holly Willoughby's husband, was the one who was sort of last man standing, still there drinking when the bar shut. So no Holly. Obviously, Dan doing the hard yards for her.
I think it's so sad that Holly doesn't go to these things anymore. I know she's really stepped back, but she is like the queen of the NTAs, going into this morning in her dress and hungover and everything.
Well, here's a question. We know that quite a few people didn't go or snubbed the party, for example. Why, as a celebrity, would you not go to that? Like, what's behind the thinking?
What, to the ceremony or the party?
The party.
Because it's rubbish. Like, let's be frank about this. Like, in the night, I go to some amazing parties, like, for example, the Brit Awards after parties, which are the creme de la creme. Like, when you go to the Sony after party, you know you're going to get a £500 goodie bag. You're drinking champagne. It's like 10 out of 10. I love the NTAs for what it is, but it's Prosecco and fish and chips. There's always so many drunk people in telly who are letting loose because this is their big party of the year. So you're always going to get absolutely like knocked sideways. It's not like a classy event. It's not like, and you will have some big stars there and there will always be something happening. But like Holly Willoughby never went to that after party. They always just go up into the ITV box. Like Dermot and Kat, they stayed in the ITV box. They never ever come down. They don't mingle with the common folk like us backstage at that party.
I thought you were going to come up with some really like intellectual industry deep answer, like, no, you're thinking about the fact there's the public there and journalists and this, that.
No, because I think
it's just because it's rubbish.
But they're all well versed in that. Like every person in that room is well media trained, bar maybe the Love Island lot who are still sort of, gaining their sort of feet. But I think everyone knows what to expect from that kind of party. And I just think it's not as classy as other parties. Like I love it, don't get me wrong. It's not the Brits. It's not the BAFTAs.
Did you see Olivia Atwood around?
Nope.
I feel like she was on her best behaviour after her Ibiza trip.
Oh yeah, probably. Last thing she needs is more people speculating about her marriage.
She looked so classy and beautiful as well.
Oh, she did.
Yeah. She arrived, it was like a revenge dress, the opposite of a revenge dress.
Was it virginal white as well? I feel like she was really giving like a shade here. Like he's calling herself a bad girlfriend, but then she turns up looking like some sort of sexy bride.
Yeah, well there we go. So any other business to discuss, guys?
I did spot more Love Islanders, but Joe Garrett and Ekin Sue looking really cosy together at the after party.
Do you know, last year they also looked cosy.
I just think there's a real chemistry.
Oh.
it was, you know, you can feel it between them. They just looked really comfortable with each other, but they've never officially dated, never gone on dates, but they were overheard discussing a potential meetup. So I mean, they are both beautiful. They look great together. They were getting pictures.
Ooh.
They were laughing and joking. I just think they would make a really good couple.
Paging Mike Spencer for All Stars 3.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah, put them in there. Yeah, for sure.
That would be good.
Because I think he's like quite a good match for her. She
Yeah.
would be like the main sort of alpha. He's a little bit more laid back. He would be a perfect partner for her.
Yeah,
She'd
and
be the
they've
star,
also
he's the stage.
Oh, that's such a good analogy. They've known each other for years. I think they first met when they did some sort of podcast job together when she'd first come out of Love Island. So,
But Ekin is really busy going to Crack America at the moment. She was telling me about how she's over there. She's going out for a month. She's really focusing on her career outside of reality TV. She feels like she's kind of done that.
isn't
done
she about
so
to be
many
on
shows.
the Sidemen's
She says,
Inside?
I know, but she's just done so many shows.
Yeah, she
that
has done
she's
everything.
like, I need to look for something else. So she's going to do sort of more back to her roots, wants to do more acting.
Nice.
And so maybe she doesn't have time for a romance with Joe.
It's true. Fair. There were quite a few celebs being turned away from the party.
Oh my God, this is my favourite story.
Yeah,
So embarrassing.
Something went on with the wristbands and the access.
But if you came through one door, the black wristband was fine. And if you came through the other wrist door where the wristband Nazis were, it had to be pink.
Yeah.
And like so many people came out and in, be like, you tell this story. But like, this was wild. Like, why was it so confusing?
Yeah, it was all about the black wristband drama.
It was intense.
The unsung heroes of the NTAs. So people turned away Roman Hackett and Matilda Draper, Maura Higgins. Now, I can understand why...
That's such a burn.
Yeah.
for Maura,
So
that's
I can understand why maybe a TOWIE member wouldn't get through, even though Saffron, who's been on some of our Sun shows before, was just through the door going, they're my mates, they're on TOWIE with me, trying to vouch for them. Couldn't get them in. But Maura Higgins, everybody knows who Maura is, don't they? But these security men were like, no, you've not got the pink wristband, you're not coming in. Maura, not happy about it.
That's humiliating. Did she
I
do
know.
the whole don't you know who I am?
I didn't hear a don't you know who I am. I think she took it, she wasn't happy, but she didn't kick off.
The thing is, it's so hard in that situation because obviously the amazing woman who runs this sort of party and runs the event as a whole is incredible, but she can't be in
Yeah.
10 places at once.
No.
And I feel like so many times last night I heard people saying, well, call her, text her. And I thought, God, I'd hate to be her right now. And I'm not naming her to keep her privacy because she's probably had enough of it. But the thing is, poor Maura would have just been like texting someone being like, oh my God, I need a pink wristband. But that place is like, you know, the underbelly of the O2. It's so expansive. You're never going to find who you're looking for.
Yeah, so she turned heel, went back to the lifts and went back up to the boxes. So probably for the best, given what happened at the last after party she attended.
I actually was surprised that she was there. She really... Cause
I quite like that from
obviously
her,
with
though.
her and Danny,
Oh, she looked amazing.
with Maura and Danny, you know, they're being so close together and going up on stage together, it was always going to be written about.
Yeah.
And I think it was quite good of her to actually just face it rather than hide.
It's
Well, I
the
just
own
think
it
also
route.
like she did nothing wrong. That woman was single and mingly.
Hell yeah.
He was the one who was married. My beef is always going to be with the person who's got the other half and the child.
But then we
at home.
tend to blame the woman all the time.
And that's
So,
the thing.
yeah.
It's quite refreshing to not be blaming the woman in this
Definitely,
scenario.
absolutely, 100%. Another thing I spotted was Whitney Adebayo and Jess Harding deep in convo.
Yeah.
Probably about Locke and Nowaki and this High Court legal battle. People are obsessed with this. Like, even I've got quite into it because, you know, I'm not a big Love Island fan. I don't know who anyone is.
Yeah, but you're deep into this.
I'm deep into this. I'm
Yeah.
so far deep. Me and Paul Sims, who's our amazing senior news correspondent at The Sun, who's been leading the way on this story and this amazing thing that he's suing her for defamation or slander. Or like, there's so much stuff they're suing each other for, and it's so good. And she's going to come back and sue him. Maybe she was asking for the details of a very good lawyer.
Yeah, well,
They
Jess-
must be making good money on their Instagram posts and branding deals
Oh,
if
they
they're
must
able
be.
to afford these top lawyers to go at each other.
I just can't wait, and this sounds terrible, for it to actually almost get its day in court if it ever does, or if they don't sort of battle out in mediation, because she is absolutely adamant that he was racist, and he's absolutely adamant that he wasn't. And you're sitting there and you're thinking, well, one person isn't telling the truth, and at the minute neither is clear, and
Yeah.
they're both leaking texts on each other, and it's all getting really messy, and you just think this is so awful. Like, just stop. But I
know
can't stop
some-
talking. Did you say
What?
you knew
I know
something?
someone who once dated him. And so I have opinions which one day, hopefully, they'll share. So hopefully we'll talk about it on Fix coming up.
Is it
one
a
day.
Caesar's thumbs up or a Caesar's thumb down or a sort of wavering in the middle?
So at the minute, I'm Team Whitney, but we'll see.
Oh my God, well, I'm team neither, but maybe I'll jump onto your bandwagon.
Yeah. I mean, the real reason everyone was there, us with all the party gossip, was the awards.
Oh yeah, we forgot
about the awards.
I know, but it feels so old now because it was last night, doesn't it?
I
It feels like a world away.
So look, Gary Lineker pulled off the ultimate upset. Nobody saw that coming. Finally knocking Ant and Dec off their 23-year pedestal as the best TV presenters. Now, when we learnt about this in the press room, a gasp went around the room. And I think that obviously we were very excited because it's a great story. But I would imagine that in most living rooms across the country, I'd love to hear what you guys think about it, because surely everyone else was as shocked as we were. Why do you think this happened, Ellie?
I think people were voting with their feet. I think people looked at what happened to Gary Lineker and thought it was deeply unfair. This is a classic. He said himself, I saw him at Glastonbury, went to a talk he gave. It was really interesting about the BBC just tying themselves in knots, and they don't quite know how to get out of it because you're meant to be impartial, but if the weather's hot, you can't say it's cold. And that's the point he always made. And I feel like Gary just sort of, in my opinion, got unfairly thrown under the bus. And actually, he said his speech on stage was really passionate. What he said, I think, made a lot of sense and it resonated. And that is why, because I think people are looking at the BBC. This is a licensed, taxpayer-funded, licence fee broadcaster. You know, that's what we pay our taxes for. And you're getting rid of someone who's a deeply popular person. You know, look at the montage at the end of Match of the Day and the people that paid homage to him as a great broadcaster. So I think people have just said, if I was Tim Davie, I'd have been furious last night, because you think, oh, for God's sake, he finally thinks he's got rid of it and it's all gone quiet. And then Gary Lineker, after you've got rid of him ultimately, because Gary didn't want to go, he was got rid of. He's just won a national television award. And you just think, what
God, that is the biggest FU, isn't
it? What a kick in the teeth. And obviously
for me, it was the walking up on stage to the Match of the Day music as well. It's the ultimate.
That's the thing. You just think that Tim Davie would have been kicking himself, because you just think that was one of your greatest broadcasters, one of the best known faces, not in football, but in entertainment as well. You know, and has now gone to sign this big new deal with ITV to front their show. So no doubt next year, if it comes out next, he'll get he'll be up for another NTA, not only a probably presenter, but maybe in quiz show. Who knows? But that's the thing. I think you just let this talent walk out of your door because of some tweets.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm super chuffed for Gary, but I do think you need to sort of look at Ant and Dec as well. And maybe there's an idea of maybe that they've been a bit complacent recently. I don't know whether, you agree with that, of that there's that idea that they assume that they're going to win because it has been 23 years, right? So what are they doing to make sure that they remain the favourite? What have they done recently to keep that going? I mean, they've just signed a big deal for I'm a Celeb to continue on to 2030. But we need to judge it like series by series, surely, and sort of like, what are you delivering right now, and why are you the top presenters?
Yeah.
Why are we still entertained by you? Because there are so many other people who are coming up the ranks who want that shot. And I mean, you can even see, Sam Thompson, he's on the red carpet. You've got Joel Dommett up there. They're all sort of creeping up. And it's like, Ant and Dec must be starting to think, hang on, maybe this was a big shock for them last night, for them to sort of reassess things.
Well, definitely. I mean, you mentioned Sam. Sam and Pete are a double act in waiting, aren't they?
Yeah.
And, everyone loves them. So you are so right. Another one that was a bit controversial, though, was Molly-Mae winning authored documentary. Yeah. Now, she was up against some heavyweight competition, Strictly Amy's Cancer Journey, Rob Burrows, Freddie Flintoff. Do we think this was a win for the Molly-Mae army, or did Molly-Mae's documentary deserve this gong?
I think it was a fascinating insight into Molly's life. If you weren't a fan, I'm not particularly bothered, but I watched it and really enjoyed it. It's the kind of bland beige television I like. But just to sort of give her dues, when she came backstage and talked about winning that award, she actually dedicated it to Rob Burrows and his wife, because she said, I've gone away, can't believe I've won this, because look at the people I was up against and look at Rob Burrows and everything he's done for raising awareness. And she was really passionate, gave a really quite a passionate speech, and she said, so this award is for Rob.
That's lovely.
And she said that,
she was really gracious, wasn't
she was, you could tell that she'd come off stage really overwhelmed this had happened and was then just processing it in her head. And she was deserving of that award. She won because the public voted for her, because their fans voted for her. But I think there's part of her that felt incredibly torn because she'd watched these amazing documentaries, these amazing stories, and probably thought, oh God, you know. I felt for her because it's one of the best. Look at her there, like, you know, she's so happy. You don't want it to be torn away from her, or for her to feel guilty about winning something.
Yeah,
it's giving the whole Taylor Swift, Kanye West moment. Of
like
this should have won.
But she deserves her time in a spotlight. But I think it was really sweet of her to take that in. I hope she doesn't feel guilty she won it because she deserved it.
No, she shouldn't. And like you say, I think this is the thing with the NTAs. It's voted for by the public.
And as soon as she was up for it, she was going to win because she has the Molly-Mae fan base and they will do everything to support her, quite rightly, as her fans. I think the blame lies, because she's getting a lot of backlash online, and I had a lot of people talking about it at the Afterparty for winning. And what I'm sad about for her is that actually it's more about the NTAs and how the category they put her in. So she was in the author documentary category. And I think a lot of people thought, well, she's a reality star. She's talking about her life. It was about her split from Tommy Fury. Should it have been in a different category?
Could they make like a fly on the wall category? Because then you could have Stacey and Joe in that as well, and Molly-Mae and Princess Andre when that comes out. Like, surely there's a fly on the wall. So, you know, because they're not at home with the Furies when that comes out.
Because the difference with them, Rob Burrows, and looking at it was obviously completely different shows that you're then trying to judge. And and I think that was unfair. She was always going to get that backlash. And it was actually not her fault at all.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. Like, if you like bland television, it's for you. I loved it because I can turn my brain off, and there she is, sort of like making beige clothes, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's very Kardashians, and I'm the biggest Kardashians person. I'm the biggest fan ever, because you can just watch it and not get too invested. You know, we're on our phones and news and alerts going off all the time. Sometimes it's nice to watch something that actually nothing really happens.
Chewing gum telly.
Yeah.
Another big win for Clarkson's Farm.
Oh, that was brilliant.
So nice to see Jeremy out the country. I think he said in his speech, didn't he? He's only been to London twice in the last year because he's just always at the farm now. But I did enjoy that. I don't even know who Beyonce and Jay-Z are at the mention of them moving to the Cotswolds. Of course you know who Beyonce and Jay-Z are. Stop being such a grump.
They'll be down diddly squat next week, you know, the farmer's dog, whatever it's called, stealing pint.
He'll know them then.
Jay-Z will be ordering his sausage and mash. Beyonce will be doing a meat or whatever.
I interviewed Caleb on the red carpet before the NTAs, and I was like super starstruck with him, like more than any Love Islander. I was like, oh my God, it's Caleb from Clarkson's Farm. And like yelled, and he ran over to say hi. He was just as sweet as you would imagine. And I was saying to him, like, you need to do a spin-off. Like, would you be interested in doing it? Like, as if I have the authority to make this happen. But I was like really adamant, because Jeremy Clarkson's obviously said about Clarkson's Farm, he has to rest it because it's 24 hours a day practically filming, you know, when there's lambing season and it's, you know, mud, wet, rain, whatever's going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like he needs to, once Jeremy has a rest, and he's had some health issues lately, he probably has to focus on that. That maybe Caleb could step in.
I think,
and take on like a bit of a spin-off thing. Yeah,
he'd be amazing. Like I don't know how many of our listeners or viewers read the Times, but Caleb gave an amazing interview this week to T2, and actually you sort of forget how interesting Caleb's backstory is, that he just sort of stopped going to school because he started selling eggs. His mum got him some chickens, and he's such an entrepreneur, and that boy grafts. And you think, what is he, 27, 28? So young.
And I said, do you want your own farm? And he was like, well, that's the aim, that's the goal, but it's so expensive. And I'm like, I think Jeremy Clarkson needs to up his salary.
I'm sure his contracting prices are quite high.
Dig into those pockets. Right, now I'm desperate to know what you guys have been and binging. Amanda, I'm going to come to you first.
Yes.
Who are you binning? What are you binning?
So I'm going to bin Tommy Fury.
Oh.
Obviously, it's a bad week because his girlfriend's got an NTA, and yet he's been in the press.
Fiance.
Sorry. Well, are they?
Oh, Molly, don't marry him. God.
But are they back on?
Oh, they are. She stuck some pictures up in their house from their engagement shoot.
Okay.
Yeah,
Tommy
So she
Dunn's
just put it
tragic.
straight on. Sorry, we're going off track about engagement. So, I'm binning because he had this Great North run and he was caught on camera shoving another jogger out of the way.
Oh, not again.
that was
These runners.
awful.
And I feel like he's been doing so much sports stuff recently, and he didn't complete his triathlon. He
Allegedly.
Well, he didn't officially on the when you looked at that. Yeah, it was.
They did, yeah. They shut some of the roads, so like he couldn't finish it, but he made out he had. So if he'd have actually done a post
Just
being
said,
like,
yeah.
just done my first 100-kilometre triathlon, couldn't complete the road because they had to close it. But what a feat! But he didn't. He
Yeah.
just said he made out he had. So people naturally have jumped all over him because he's a braggart and a cheat. He's a bit of a
Tommy
cheat, aren't
loves
you, Tommy?
cheating.
Tommy does love
Yeah,
cheating.
he does. Yeah.
Okay. Who are you binging?
I am binging Tom Skinner. Obviously,
Oh.
he's had like a pretty intense week. He's signed up to Strictly Come Dancing. He had his first training rehearsals this week. There was an incident when he was talking to the press, and I want to defend him and say that he's going through a lot at the moment. I think it's pretty overwhelming, but I think he is going to be somebody who the public totally fall in love with. He is, I mean, I would say that I don't know, should I say it? I feel like he's a winner of Strictly, unless something happens and he gets booted off, obviously, straight away. But I just feel like he's got this, he's down to earth. He says what he thinks. He gets a lot of backlash for it, but he's honest about how he feels in that moment. He says it how it is. And I think that's what we're craving at the moment in showbiz world, where you ask a question and someone might say directly to your face and it's a lie. You want him to just be able to speak out and say what he thinks.
I think what you're saying about him either could be a winner is what everyone in this building is talking about. Because I was coming down in the lift with a very senior member of the editorial team, and I sort of mentioned something that's happening with Tom Skinner, and they said, well, he'll either bounce out in week 1 or he'll win.
Yeah, I think it is an either-or situation.
Thing.
And I think he's someone who admits that he's had like a bit of a checkered past, and that if he is to sort of have a fresh start and move on, it's either the public embrace that, and sometimes we do love an underdog. We like to say, do you know what, you've not been the best person in the world for your whole life, but actually I can see that you're this family man now and you're going to do really well in the future, and embrace Strictly. So I think he'll be very entertaining on it, for sure.
Bosh.
Bosh.
That's what I like. Don't get me wrong, I like Tom, but I can't just stop saying bosh. I can't. If he does at the end of every dance, but it'll be a thing. And Claudia and Tess are going to start being like bosh.
Yeah.
No.
And it's so
I'm
old now.
not
He's
here
been
for
doing
that.
it for so long.
Can we bin Bosh?
Yeah.
Right,
Keep
Ellie.
Tom, but bin
Keep
bosh.
Tom.
We'll see. Gosh, Strictly ball out there.
I'm binning the NTAs Afterparty guest list because it was a bit trick awards, and that's nothing against the organisers who I love dearly, and I think it's a
All
fab
trick
party. Yeah, I mean, I've never been to the trick awards, so it just looks awful.
Did
as
you
well,
know
to be
that
honest.
someone was sick on me at the trick
Yeah,
awards?
exactly.
Oh my
Someone
God.
vomited her on the trick.
I remember I'm getting really awful
It was
flashbacks.
awful.
of
It was
that.
say, didn't
It
you,
wasn't
as well?
me.
It was all down my back and in my hair.
Did they apologise?
No, they were very drunk, which is why they were sick.
Because it happens at lunchtime, and
They've
so
all-
everyone just
They're all
day
on
drinks
the
and goes
day
mad.
drink lash from the
Yeah.
morning. It was awful.
Just need some proper, actual big celebrities.
Sick flick
in
at the tricks.
there.
Oh, okay. And what are you binging?
Ed Sheeran's new album, Play. Yeah, I was the first journalist in the whole wide world to listen to it in full.
That is so
Last
cool.
week, I was really lucky. So yeah, it comes out midnight tonight. It's really good. There's some amazing songs on there.
How does this happen if you're the... Do you literally go... Do they just send you a link? Do you
No,
go
I got
into a room?
got taken into the studio.
Oh.
Headphones on and was told to play it as many times as I wanted. But I was in a rush, so I could only play it through twice.
Did you feel like you needed to play it more than once?
No, because there are 4 songs that were already out. So I was like, I know those, but there were 2 songs. Like the first song on that album's amazing. Like everyone knows Take Me Back to London with Stormzy. Like Ed, but obviously Ed doesn't really rap on that track. The first track of the album, Ed raps. So it starts off really folky, Don't Kill Me Ed's team, and then it goes into this most incredible rap.
Nice.
Like it's fun.
When's that
really
out?
fun. Midnight. So Friday the 12th of September it comes out.
Wow, fun.
Good album.
Okay. I am binning... This is very dull of me, but this travel chaos this week,
Oh no.
but specifically the combination with the rain yesterday. Shout out to the puddle on the red carpet at the NTAs. It was just so funny though, because all of the celebrities having to lift up their dresses and go on tiptoes, and I just feel really sorry for everyone that's trying to navigate this stuff. such a first world problem.
No, but it's horrible when you've spent in hours getting ready and you feel lovely, and then suddenly your beautiful dress is getting wet and you have to step over a
Just a very
not really
pedestrian bin for me this week, but it's really affecting my life, she says. Went to bed at 3 a.m, guys. But I'm binging a telly spot which you've got to watch. So I've spoken before about Netflix true crime, and they're on such a run with this. So have you watched Unknown Number, the high school catfish? Oh my God, the twist in this is absolutely insane. This girl and this boy dating at high school start receiving these messages from this unknown number, trying to split them up. But then it gets more and more savage, kill yourself, very graphic, vulgar sexual language. And when you find out who was sending these text messages, which the police were finally able to do, it is incredible.
I'm not
going to ruin it for you. But it's amazing.
Start guessing.
And that's on Netflix now. It's an hour and a half, but it's worth it. The twist comes about an hour in, but you are going to be there on the edge of your seat. So go.
I love that. Well, I think for a twist to shock you, it must be good. I'll watch that.
Yeah, because
good recommendation.
Wow. And also, I'm a bit over murder true crime, and everyone in this is fine now, which is a nice happy ending.
Oh, that's good.
After this insane twist. So go watch.
Okay.
So that's your Showbiz Fix for this week, and you can get a whole lot of telly and entertainment tidbits if you subscribe here at The Sun Showbiz on YouTube, and you can hear us in your ears wherever you get your podcasts. See you next week.